Thank everybody that gave some tips yesterday. That was awesome. I really appreciate it. Who knows what's going to happen? I just got some of my songs up here. I'm going to play a few and I'm 19 and I'm looking back to that little house at the foot of the hills and the rocks of the railroad tracks. I was young and my heart was open, begging each day just to pass by, hoping that the hero of my world was just outside. You see, each day my daddy's jobs would finally end, and he'd drag up the front stairs ragged with me hanging to his leg. Near the dog in the shade of the tall pear trees, we'd throw the ball and he'd tell me stories in a world of strangers. He was my best friend. He was my hero the whole day through. Where that changed, I never knew. Somewhere 11, 12, maybe 15, when my daddy was a stranger to me. I looked up to that man, he was my world, teaching me machines and ball and fire and God and girls. We'd chop wood on a summer night. I was gonna be like him, I was gonna grow up right. A carpenter, a preacher, a veteran in some girl's world, some son's world. He was my hero the whole day through. Where that went wrong, I never knew. Somewhere 11, 12, maybe 15, when my daddy was a stranger to me. Maybe all those years of cold, cold smiles are gonna fall off in forgiveness and talking and fighting off crying. How's a boy supposed to reach his hand to a hero turned a stranger of a man? I'm 23 and I'm looking back, hearing memories from my uncle of how a stranger raised my dad. There was no playing catch or chopping wood. It was a back of hand instead of doing good. My father had a stranger for dad. I'm hearing stories by the dozen, how you wake up and find them 6 feet under, but then you come to understand that they gave you a love they never had, even when they were a stranger of a man. He was my hero the whole day through, and he made a right from a wrong more than I ever knew. Somewhere 11, 12, maybe 15, that stranger stayed a hero to me. You see, my daddy was a stranger's son, but he gave me a lot where he'd been given none. And I've been a stranger now, you see. Yes, maybe I should grab that phone. I used to be a hero's son, son of a stranger trying to be the world for me. It's a song I wrote a while ago. Here's another song I wrote a while ago, but not as while ago as the last while ago song that I just wrote. This is called A Country Song Is Mine. You see, your life might be a rock and roll song. Maybe it's got some flash, maybe it's got some glory, maybe it's got some riches, some ups, some downs, some excitement. Your life might be a rock and roll tune, but a country song is mine. Every word in this song comes from a true story, comes from a part of my life. Including, I've loved more dogs than I've had women to leave me. Well, that's the only part that's not true. I spent my share of years living in a trailer. My daddy was a preacher on the South Virginia line. And I've loved more dogs than I've had women to leave me. Your life might be a rock and roll tune, but a country song is mine. I've wandered through the corn in search of heaven. I cut and dried the wood that kept my family warm at night. I laid down in the grass below the stars above the mountains. Your life might be a rock and roll tune, but a country song is mine. It's a cry of a fiddle in a cold Kentucky rain, and the roll of a banjo to the beat of an old steam train. It's a winding road to somewhere, street you just don't pave, and it's sunshine on a hot steel bridge, one more heartfelt refrain. And I've had my share of moaning, and I've had my share of smiles. You know that your life might be a rock and roll tune, but a country song is mine. See, I've spent my share of years living near the city. My grandpa built our house and it was out of bricks and railroad ties. I'm pulled up by my roots and I cannot shake the dirt that made me. Your life might be a rock and roll tune, but a country song is mine. I still believe in fiddles and in banjos and in feeling sad sometimes. In losing just to find it, just to see a thing that's been there all the while. But I've had my share of years living in the city. One too many crossroads not to leave your soul behind. I can't take the knocking and the pounding of the bright lights. Your life might be a rock and roll tune, but a country song is mine. It's a cry of a fiddle in the cold Kentucky rain, and the roll of a banjo to the beat of an old steam train. Winding road to somewhere, a street you just don't pave, and it's sunshine on a hot steel bridge, one more heartfelt refrain. I've had my share of moaning and I've had my share of smiles. You know your life might be a rock and roll tune, but a country song is mine. That song's a true story. You know, my grandfather, he built the house that my mother grew up in. And when I was in junior high, I moved into that house. And it was built of bricks. He used some railroad ties. And he even built the house. And then he'd come home from work every night, start digging underneath. He dug down, he put up a post under the house, dug some more, put another post. Eventually, he had the whole house held up by posts. He built a basement underneath the house. Yeah. When I say laid down in the grass below the stars above the mountains, that's some of my memories of the many times I got to visit the Appalachian Trail, and right on the border of Tennessee, North Carolina, and there's some areas there that I got to hike quite a few times when I was a teenager, and I remember laying down at night below the stars but above the mountains, and I imagine I didn't fit the grass in there, but the grass all around, and yeah. And no light from anywhere except the sky. Speaking of sky, here's an old song I never do. There's a million Big Dippers in the sky. You see, I've always thought everything looks like the Big Dipper to me in the sky. There's a million Big Dippers in the sky. I couldn't find the right one if I tried. There's 100 roads to get me out of town. I'd be lost whichever I went down. There's 14 shades of lipstick in your purse. Can't tell the last one from the first. There's 1,000 birds up in the air. I can't name one, and I don't care. 2 million places we could be, and I'm with you, and you're with me. There's a world of people we could love, a world of them but just one us. There's 22 football players on the screen. All you know is our team wears green. There's a million Big Dippers in the sky. I can't name the right one if I try. But there's 2 million places we could be. But I'm with you, and you're with me. There's a million hands that we could hold. Just one future we could watch unfold. A world of people we could love. A world of them but just one us. An earth of people we could kiss. Thank God this is one thing. Thank God this is one thing. Thank God this is one thing we didn't miss. There's an obscure one. That just means it's a song you can't see through. Every time I play that song, I think of my friend Mark, wherever he might be. He lives in Bedford, Ohio. Mark and Heidi. And I think of, I was playing at Borders Books when they used to have music. When I first started making music. Probably making about the same money I make now to play music. But anyway, I remember playing that song and him giving a compliment about it or something. And that meant a lot because I was just starting out and he was a far more accomplished guitar player than I was. Probably still is. I want to do a song called the 12 Bar Blues, except the ironic thing is, see, 12 bars, for those of you that aren't musicians, it means that you're going to count to 4 12 times, and you're to the end of the form of the song, and it's just going to keep repeating with different words or different melodies or whatever. So, this song, I don't know, it's like actually 32 bars or something like that, or 20 something, I don't know. So, how ironic, it's a 12 bar blues, but it's not even 12 measures. But there's a reason it's called the 12 bar blues, so hang on. By the way, if you're hanging out and listening, if you drop a comment, it always lets me know if anybody's out there. 12 empty stools, then there's me. 12 o'clock Monday, in a midnight heat. There's 12 hangouts empty, looking for you. And I've got the 12 bar blues. 12 times I have called, and 12 long days. 12 you never answered. 12 nothing sent my way. I'm 12 times better knowing woman. Knowing woman, we are through. And I've got the 12 bar blues. Me too, Jason. Bars 1, 2, 3, 4 took me to 5. But then 6 became 7. And 8 became 9. Now I can hardly see what's up there on the shelf. I try to drown my sorrows in 10, 11, 12, and the piano beats a rhythm. To a city that sleeps. I'm all tapped out and I cannot tap my feet. There's not a door I've seen that you'll come stumbling through. But I've got the 12 bar blues. Counting on, counting on, counting on, I counted on you. But everything I used to know is not necessarily true. I'm looking for a beat or a comforting refrain. I'm one after the other for a turn around again and 12 empty stools. Then there's me. 12 o'clock Monday in the midnight heat. I'm 12 times a better woman knowing we are through. And I've got the 12 bar blues. The 12 Bar Blues. It's about 12 bars, but it isn't really 12 bars. So when I'm playing this weekend, I'm gonna be doing some covers. I don't necessarily play them on Facebook. Sometime I might, but I don't understand how all that works with the copyrights and all that. And also, after a while, I just kind of enjoy playing what I wrote. This is a song called The Three Ballad Chord. No, it's the Ballad of the Three Chord Song. Yes. It's not a three ballad chord. That would be long. A ballad. 3 ballads on 1 chord. Alright. Ironically, the verse doesn't have 3 chords in it, but the chorus does. I left home, 3 chords and a voice that loved my stories. New York and Nashville loved my ways. I climbed the radio like a foothill with a view forever. I brought many a young one fame. I lived in cars, I lived in alleys out behind the show. I lived in late night sing-alongs where no one pays to go. I was born with a rose of cotton 'neath the long dark forest. Broken lives sang me to joy. I went from rags and mud to the golden records hanging on the wall, where generations kept their voice. I've been requested by the millions to the stage. If you look for me, I have not gone away. Where you gonna find me? Not on the dial. Hey, I hear you still feel me, but it's been a long while. I never did the leaving and I never did change. I'm hanging round the trails of the old coal trains. And I don't complain. I don't complain. I never needed all the rags or the fame and fortune come my way. No. I only needed to exist. I am the coal watching plastic diamonds floating in the sky. But if I'm ever missed, I live in cars, I live in alleys out behind the show. I live in late night sing-alongs where no one pays to go. Sometimes I'm still requested by the thousands to the stage. But if you look for me, I have not gone away. Where you gonna find me? Not on the dial. Hey, I hear you still feel me, but it's been a long while. I never did the leaving and I never did change. I'm hanging round the trails of the old coal train. I don't complain. I don't complain. Good night, Jason. So, the Ballad of the Three-Chord Song. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night at the Old Wine Cellar in Olmsted Falls. It's really a neat little place, and can't say enough about it. Since COVID, I've been trying to stick to if it means a lot or pays a lot, and I try to stick to that so that to try to make my life more meaningful. So I've been trying to play more places where I get to be more of myself, and it's not about, I play cover songs, but, hey, how many cover songs can you play? And all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I just am enjoying being me, and it's panning out. And I like the groups of people that are coming out. I don't get to play this one in public much. It's a little bit rough, just like the man I wrote it about. Isn't that? But this song is very near and dear to me, and I still remember driving over to Bird's house in his last week of life. And when I wrote the opening verse, I was thinking about him when he passed away. And he actually didn't pass away at his house, but I put it there in the song. Going through the brick walls and up to the street lights, and thought about him maybe looking down as he went off to who knows where. Bird was a friend of my dad's. He was kind of a rough person, some might say, and my dad was a preacher, and they were quite polar opposites, and yet there's something that they really had in common. And my dad wasn't allowed to talk about Jesus when he hung out with Bird. But then my dad moved to Nova Scotia. And this isn't like a comment on people in church, people out of church, anything like this. But of all the family, of all the friends my dad had, through church, through his work, through everything, when he moved to Nova Scotia, none of them wrote back. But not only did none of them wrote back, none of them wrote to him, and Bird wrote to him. My dad didn't even initiate that. In the last rise and fall of his shell-scarred chest, Bird laid back his ink and drew one final breath. He exhaled a whisper, was all he had left to ease the nicks and the holes in his bones down to rest. Well, the stone of his face turned to spirit and white as he slipped through the sheets up above the street lights. His wife and two sons, well, they said their goodbyes, and his bike had sat silent, no man left to ride. Each scar was the title of a chapter and scene, where something survived in a lone victory. But deep in his pockets and done banging round are the shards of broke hope that could not cut him down. And the angels, well, don't this some bird up somehow? They had too many rules, so he just hung around. Somewhere behind stone walls and rocks, if nobody is looking, You might have caught him soft. 46 years back, Bird did his hard time. Didn't quite kill the sergeant, but he made a nice try. Fought a war against fate so his sons and his wife would not carry an evil he'd bore his whole life. You see, his dad beat the hell in him, his mama did worse. He was a soul left for dead and child of a curse. And he carried their sins like they were his own, till they tattered his body and smoked up his bones. The uncomfortable smile and the ache of a breeze, Bird never bowed down to a man on his knees. Hard as a road, he could not be contained, bound to be saved by the asphalt and chain. Jesus loves outlaws and killers and whores, the dirty and the broken and the wounded and pure. He was some part of heaven most won't ever see, last living proof of a dying breed. Bird was an outlaw who tried to make right. He was foul-mouthed and funny and mean and polite. Now my dad was a preacher and Bird his close friend. They had something in common. It was chain bikes and wind. The first day my dad brought up Jesus Christ, Bird said, "Cut that shit out or you're no friend of mine." So my father, he did what the Christian should do, just hang around and let the living be proof. So Bird cussed and told off-color jokes, and my dad, he just waited till the Holy Ghost spoke. He dodged smoke and turned wrenches, and stories of roads and think Earl could kill, but well, God only knows. Bird's son was my best friend, that's how this began. I wandered around through the circles he ran, till my mom cut that off and she hoped it was done, saying bikers don't have feelings, how could they're young? Well, Bird came to our door when my mom was alone. She talked through the screen, kinda scared to the bone. He was in tattoos and leather with a stray tear too. He took out an album and began flipping through. He had pictures of his family, of his wife and his sons, smiling and loving in the things that they'd done. An outlaw in stature, his voice came out weak, and he changed my mom's heart as he broke down to speak. He said, "No one around this point's my son right, and that friendship with your kid was good for his life." Mama was scared, but she knew she'd been wrong. You see, bikers have feelings, but the feelings just don't belong. An uncomfortable smile in the ache of a breeze, Bird never bowed down to a man on his knees. Hard as a road, he could not be contained, bound to be saved by asphalt and chain. You know, Jesus loves outlaws, killers and whores, the dirty and the broken, the wounded, the pure. He was some part of heaven most won't ever see. Bird was the last living proof, the dying breed. This is a song that's kind of hard to write, because it's got all these different parts. different, and somehow I tried to weave them together in a way that makes sense. Originally, this next part was going to be the opening, but it just didn't lead in quite like the lead in does, so I put it at the end. Not far uptown where the shiny locks turn, and the chandelier lights and the windows still yearn. People rest easy, a hair more assured that a man they don't know has cussed his last word. Well, that's more than the biker, the man that rode out. He was born in a curse that he never passed down. He found his heart, he loved good and fought mean. He's the last living proof of a dying breed. Well, they make 'em and they fake 'em some more. But this world is too fragile for someone so pure. Some part of heaven most won't ever see. The last living proof of a dying breed. Jesus loves outlaws and killers and whores, the dirty and the broken, the wounded, the pure. Bird was some part of heaven most won't ever see. Last living proof of a dying breed. Well, if you're out there, I'm having a good time right now. Thank you for the comments. Hey, thanks for the tips yesterday. That was awesome. You know what's even more awesome than tips is seeing people come hang out at the Old Wine Cellar Friday, December 2nd, which for many of you will be today. If you're out there and you want to drop a comment and let me know who's there. Otherwise, I'm probably going to wrap it up. It's a late night. Got to get up early. Pack the car with my equipment. It's not the same as equipment for a band, but it's enough equipment. Pack my car, go to work, then go from work to play at the Old Wine Cellar. Are you looking for the man who changed the world? He blazed a trail of glory and you hung on every word. Well, he always knew his purpose and he never had a doubt. They say he was somebody, but somebody is not around. Are you looking for the man who changed your mind? Made you feel in places that your heart had yet denied. 1 foot in heaven and 1 foot in the clouds. If you're looking for somebody, well, somebody is not around. Nobody has come to take his place. Nobody has a light on, nobody has his face. And if you're looking for somebody, somebody is gonna wait. Nobody is living here these days. Is there someone special in your days of old? He never stopped amazing, everything he touched was gold. Well, these days it's nobody feeling down. If you're looking for someone, well, someone's not around. Nobody has come to take his place. Nobody keeps the light on, and nobody has his face. And if you're looking for somebody, somebody is gone away. Nobody is living here these days. There we go. Well, they say I was somebody in the day, but I guess I quit believing about the time you went away. I used to have a purpose, I used to have no doubts. Well, they say I was somebody, but I am nobody now. Nobody has come to take my place. Nobody keeps the light on, nobody has my face. And if you're looking for somebody, somebody has gone away. Nobody is living here these days. Nobody's come to take his place. Nobody keeps the light on, nobody has his face. If you're looking for somebody, somebody has gone away. Nobody is living here these days. Nobody is living here these days. Well, hey Camille, how are you? Just about to wrap it up, but I can fit in a couple more. I'm as bright as a break of day. I'm as long as what I say. I'm as wrong as the words you think. I'm as pretty as black as ink. I'm strong as a pile of stones, and I'm no wall, and I'm no home, but I can't stand up on my own. I'm as strong as a pile of stones. I'm a door that's got no home. I'm stranded where I roam. I won't be harmed or moved. I am heavy with the thought of you. I'm as strong as a pile of stones, and I'm no wall, and I'm no home, and I can't stand up on my own, but I'm as strong as a pile of stones. I'm out as I'm on a limb. I'm as you as she is him. I am 5 and 5 is 10. I'm gone now as I was then. I'm strong as a pile of stones, and I'm no wall, and I'm no home, but I can't stand up on my own. I'm as strong as a pile of stones. Hey, awesome, Annette. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, too. I was trying to play these past couple nights to kind of shake the dust off. It's not quite, I mean, it is playing that one show with Lost State of Franklin, but it's not quite the same as playing all by yourself and trying to make everything stay on track. So I am looking forward to tomorrow night at the Old Wine Cellar. And, beautiful Olmsted Falls, which is beautiful in the summer, in the winter, in the fall, in the spring. They should call it Olmsted, Fall, Spring, Summer, whatever the other one was. Winter. That's what they should call that town. Sometimes I don't want tomorrows, 'cause tomorrow's just gonna bring the day again. The same four walls keep coming back with nothing new to say, trying to weigh me down and hold me in. I remember days when ribbons of the sunlight stretched out across the land. And any path I took forgave and loosed me, and it let me lose, to fail and to try again. Won't you hold my empty hand and let them tell you where you've been? The truth is a story in my eyes. I had dreams, and a dream is just a river. It's a stealer and a giver, and you never know just where it goes. You will leave things you love on the shores of the ocean. It's a mighty endless ocean till the day you find a home. I have pictures, perfections and colors that are buried deep inside. And like the flowers and the leaves of a withered vine, I can't tell if they've died. Sometimes when I'm alone and no one's breathing hard and pulling at my soul, time spills out from yesterday, and just one drop's enough to keep from growing old. Won't you hold my empty hands and let them tell you where I've been? The truth is a story in my eyes. I had dreams, and a dream is just a river, a stealer and a giver, and you never know just where it goes. You will leave things you love on the shores of the ocean. It's a mighty endless ocean. You're lucky if you're not alone. Sometimes I wrote my story. Sometimes I tossed my pen to the wind. Traded everything I knew for this right here to share with you, my friend. 'Cause I had dreams, and a dream is just a river. It's a stealer and a giver, and you never know just where it goes. So you will leave things you love on the shores of the ocean. It's a mighty endless ocean. You're lucky if you're not alone. Chinese food and diesel trains, wedding coat, cakes and acid rain. sewer grates and fields of grain, smokestack suit and rattlesnakes, hippie love and Wall Street cash, pine tree mountains and plastic bags, student loans and old train tracks, catfish and burning flags. Yosemite and credit cards, deadly force in Central Park, chain link fence and movie stars, nursing homes and mason jars, dead in the street and motor homes, civil rights and ice cream cones, Me Too and Home Alone, picket signs and Android phones. I can see America from my backyard. Out past the fences, out beyond the dark. Seems to take so long, but it's really not that far. I can see America from my backyard. Free speech and poor white trash, peanut butter and Johnny Cash, Rodney King and healthy fats, cappuccinos and Dixie flags, Hollywood and the fish and game, baseball bats and purple rain, fireworks and rival gangs, foreclosed homes, soda pop and the EPA, IPA and the border walls, housing bubbles and basketball, fake news and Barbie dolls, foreclosed homes and shopping malls, apple trees and the thin blue lines, dying bees and ocean sides, me and turn the tides, ticks and fleas and the ties that bind them. I can see America from my backyard. Past the fences, out beyond the dark. What seems to take so long, but it's really not that far. I can see America from my backyard. I can see America from my backyard. Past the fences, out beyond the dark. Seems to take so long, but it's really not that far. I can see America from my backyard. I can see America from my backyard. I can see America from my backyard. Well, I think I'll put in one more. It's been a pleasure hanging out this evening. I was kind of excited a couple of weeks ago. The school that I teach in, my room is 104. And for some reason in my head, I just started thinking, I'm going to call my room Q104. And then I started thinking, maybe I can call Q104 and they'll send our school a bunch of stuff that I can put in my room. But then I started listening to Q104 and I was like, I'm not 100% sure if that's all kids music. So not that I expected it to be kids music, but here's some more things on the next page that got stuck after that song I just read. Things that never made the cut of getting into the song, but a bunch of different pieces of America that they all fit even though they're so different. ebony, live oak trees, good old boys, rowboats, alleyways, fake news, brook shields, pit bulls, kneeling, sunflower, butter, desserts, swing states. And I don't know why it said Carlsbad. Maybe that's from another song. Swing states, country music, Wild West, Zydeco, checks and balances, clam chowder, old train tracks, rails to trails, Pilgrim Pride, Great Lakes, Hobie Sound, gumbo, barbecue, chili dog s'mores, pickup trucks. Those have just must have been my ideas of all different juxtaposition things. I wonder what I can think of right now this second. All these different things that have anything at all to do with America and nothing. Well, never mind. I'll leave that last part out. Everything. Let's see. All the things that fit together, and they're all part of what we all are as a country, that we have to try to make work. So we got freeways, exit signs, we have basketball games, we have Jordan sneakers. I guess we no longer have Kanye sneakers. We got rims, we got bandanas, we've got cable TV. Do we have cable TV anymore? Is that even a thing? I don't know. I barely own a TV. I'm going to start a song with that. I barely own a TV. It comes on twice a year. Zydeco. I got to learn about Zydeco music. I got to learn about that. Like, I can't 100% like with confidence say that I know what Zydeco music is. So I know that's embarrassing. I know I heard it one time because somebody said Lost State of Franklin had a Zydeco element. So then I just started putting it on all our flyers when I tried to get us performances. You know, here's all our styles, and I put Zydeco in there. But I still don't quite 100% know what Zydeco is. I'm going to have to search it out. Isn't there a band, a famous band from the 90s, a rock band, like maybe something like the Spin Doctors or someone along that line, who was qualified as Zydeco? See, now you got French words I don't know. I do know I teach this song to first graders. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. And this is not French, it's Cajun. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. Mes amis, bonjour. Mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour, mes amis. So isn't Zydeco like near Cajun territory? Well, I know things that I don't know, and it's things that I've heard said. So and so up the family line, you know it's better off leaving it dead. I thank God, as hard as it's been for me, myself to be, that what tore my mama down, you know it never did make it to me. 'Cause she was breaking a chain, breaking a chain. Turn her loose and cut it down, never let it see the light of day. Breaking a chain. Stolen wings and siphoned beings and lies that could have soared. Evil kings and Satan's beings just waiting outside for more. Thank God, as hard as it's been for me myself to be, that what beat my daddy down, you know it never did make it to me. 'Cause he was breaking a chain, breaking a chain. Turn it loose, cut it down, never let it see the light of day. Breaking a chain. If you ever go digging around the family tree and find something that they could almost hide, a little something slipped down through an aunt or a cousin or a brother on your sister's side. Was it left upstream of the river of blood that is running through your veins? Or is it alive trying to rob you blind, but you're hanging on waiting for change? Well, you're breaking the chain, breaking the chain. Turn it loose and cut it down, never let it see the light of day. Breaking a chain. Yeah, I was born in the Great Depression. Barely made it out alive. Couple marks on the spirit of my folks' soul, somehow made it to mine. Gave me all the love they could, and it's better than they were raised. Now I'm raising up my own, I'm just trying to lift the bar again. Breaking the chain, breaking the chain. Turn it loose and cut it down, never let it see the light of day. Breaking a chain, breaking a chain, breaking a chain. Turn it loose and cut it down, never let it see the light of day. Breaking a chain. Is jambalaya... Well, jambalaya is Cajun, so... Because your spelling of that, and you said your spelling might be off. Do you know, I love the song Jambalaya. I love Hank Williams. But I can't spell jambalaya correctly. I always spell it wrong. Or so people tell me. Maybe they're wrong. Alright, I think I might do one more. Whoops. So tomorrow night I do half and half. About half covers, about half originals. If I see people getting their coats on, I'll start playing some covers. Yeah, I know it's food. I mean, I've had it before, but I'm talking about the name. I think the name is a Cajun name. I'm going to say it's pretty good. It's also, from what I know, pretty undefined. Like, I don't know that you can 100% say, this is jambalaya. Because from what I remember, it's got all kind of different things in it. Speaking of Hank Williams and Alabama, my great-grandfather from Tuscaloosa. I wrote this song based on things my grandmother had told me. I added a few things here and there. And when I added them, she said, wow, that probably happened. So he used to ride trains. In fact, go back further, he dropped out of school in the 3rd grade to work in the woolen mills. That's mills where they made wool. They loomed it together with big giant looms. He started out in the 3rd grade working in the woolen mills, but he wasn't in the 3rd grade because he dropped out of school. And he'd go around and pick up the sticks that they got to send through between all the threads on the loom. And there was all these rules. You could get in trouble. If you took home one little square fabric of wool, you'd get in huge trouble. You'd be fired, but you might get in worse trouble. Eventually, he became pretty good at math and somehow was really good using math. I guess somehow helped him to fix the looms. Then there's a point where he was in the Navy. He even for a short time was a catcher on a minor league ball team. I have one of his ball gloves. I don't know if it's the one he played with in the minor leagues. But somewhere in there, he was a hobo. He traveled America on the trains. And one of the things that I always thought stuck out that my grandma told me was that in the hobo camps, the value of something didn't come from the worldly monetary value or from the size. The value came from the need. So you might have a big giant blanket. I might have one little tiny book of matches. In the world, they would not at all be equal. But right now, in this moment, I need your blanket. You need my matches. We trade. It's even. Trains that I have ridden and the men that I've outrun, somewhere down the line, like all of the places I was young. Fires and the whispers that were kept until the dawn died beneath the cold steel bridges when the whistle moved me on. I've been shot in Alabama, I passed out in New Orleans, and the Mississippi River is the biggest thing I've seen. I've been all the way out to the Oklahoma plains. Well, it's gotta be, it's the longest place I lead. And the trains that I have ridden and the men that I've outrun, somewhere down the line, like all of the places I was young. Fires and the whispers that were kept until the dawn, they died beneath the cold steel bridges when the whistle moved me on. Coal was out ahead of me and the steam was in the air. The whole world moving past me on 8 feet of Ashland Square. I know girls that live way out on the edge of town. They want to run away, yes sir, but their daddies hold them down. The trains that I have ridden and the men that I've outrun, somewhere down the line, like all of the places I was young. The fires and the whispers that were kept until the dawn, they died beneath cold steel bridges when the whistle moved me on. Sometimes I wonder if I'm still out there 1,000 miles from home, with all the dried out matches in my pockets that I own. You know, the miles I never counted and the friends I had were few. The only ones I trusted, yes, well, that's the only ones I knew. Trains that I have ridden and the men that I've outrun, somewhere down the line, like all of the places I was young. The fires and the whispers that were kept until the dawn, they died beneath cold steel bridges when the whistle moved me on. When the whistle, when it moved me on, when it moved me on. All right, Camille, we'll call it a night. When it moved me on, Well, whoever's out there, have a nice night, have a nice day. Please join me Friday, December 2nd, which is tomorrow or today, depending on when you saw this. Please, oh my Lord, it's 12:17, so it's today. Please join me at the Old Wine Cellar.